Hey guys, it's Melanie. Happy Saturday. Welcome back to the weekly home fragrance roundup. I hope you guys had a fantastic week. It is time, yet again, to talk about what I used this past week in terms of wax melts, candles, the usual, what I was crocking, what I was lamping. And this has kind of been an interesting week. As you can see behind me, the pumpkins have started popping up. So I'm in fall mode. I realize that it's still August. However, I don't know, it makes me happy. So here I am. I have definitely transitioned fragrance-wise to pretty much exclusively my fall transitional and fall fragrances. Once I changed the decor in the house for whatever reason, like that's, even though it's still 90 degrees out, that's the switch in my head that says, okay, now you can start burning pumpkin stuff. It's totally fine. But apparently a week ago when I did not have my pumpkins out and it was 90 degrees out, I was like, I just can't. It's too hard. Yeah. Anyway, I don't know what's going on up there, but it works for me, so I'm going with it. Okay, so in the description box below this video, this is mostly for those of you that are newer to my channel. If you don't know what a candle crock is, if you don't know what a candle lamp is, there are videos that will be in the description box right below this video that are going to explain the whole concept of those two candle accessories to you. I will link the options that I think are fantastic for both a lamp as well as a crock. I will also try to take a look around. I don't know if I'll have time, but hopefully I will. I will check and see what sales are happening this weekend. Honestly, today is Friday, so I haven't really looked at my emails yet today to see what's happening at Kringle this weekend, or what's happening at Bath & Body Works, or if anything is happening at any retailer that I typically shop with in terms of home fragrance. So, yeah. Anyway, plethora of information in the description box down below. There we go. Let's get into it. Okay, let's start with what I was burning this week, and then I will do the lamps, the crocks, and the wax melts towards the end. Let's try and switch it up, right? Okay, so one of the things that I started burning this week is this bad boy. This is the Sweet Cinnamon Plum from Bath & Body Works, and it's going good so far. You can see I'm not really to the halfway point yet. I feel like I want to get a couple more burns out of this bad boy before I share an opinion, but I will say it's a very interesting scent. There is a lot of, like, I'm not sure what is the word that I'm looking for here, whether it's like a tanginess, like something about this smells slightly sour, slightly tangy to me. Like, it's really interesting. I don't dislike it, but it's a little bit different than what I expected it to be. So, but anyway, I will do an in-depth review on this bad boy as soon as I get a little further in. As to my wanting to compare it to Sweet Plum Pastry from Scentsy, I do think it shares some similarities, but they're definitely not the same scent. I'll get into it a little bit more when, like I said, when we do the in-depth review. But I'm enjoying it so far. It's not quite as good as I expected it to be, but it's a nice scent. So we got that going for us. All right. I reviewed Pumpkin Peppercorn this week, and I have still been burning it. It's still going pretty darn good. I did leave this lit for, I think it was like 8 hours one day. I just totally lost track of time, and the wicks did get a little bit long, and there was a little bit of residue that was dropped into the wax, and I can see that. And then when I clipped the very long wicks, they like little pieces started breaking off, and I tried to get them off the wax, but I kind of rubbed them into the wax, so that made a little bit of a mess. But usually, like, the wax doesn't discolor on me at all. I just have like a minor amount of discoloration just from, again, that was my fault. I don't think you should really leave any candle burning for that long. I was decorating and filming and just lost track of time. Anyway, also from Kringle, Autumn Road. This is another one of their new releases for the fall. This one is very interesting. This has a lot more of like a earthy fall type vibe to it. It's not sweet, it's not a gourmand, it's not a fruity scent at all. Get quite a bit of amber from this one. It's really nice, but it's very different. This is much more of like a fall bedroom type of scent than it is, at least for me, as like a dining room or kitchen or, you know, living room kind of scent. So, but I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying it. When I first smelled that one, I was like, nah, but burning, I like it a lot more burning for sure. Okay, I finished this week and I already reviewed it. It burned just fine the whole way down. This is my first eggnog French toast from HomeWorx. I did purchase this in a set of 2 from QVC. So I do have 1 eggnog French toast that I will now save for around the holidays. You know, I think that the strength and throw on this was probably more in line with the spring summer candles, maybe slightly better, but not a ton. So I'm hoping that with letting that particular candle sit a little bit longer, that it might increase in strength and throw, because I did notice that from the spring summer candles. The longer that I had them sitting in a dark closet, the more they seem to develop in terms of strength and throw. So that's my hope for this. Hopefully by Christmas time, this will be ready to like fill much more of my house. Now, one that I'm having a really good experience with, that I will be doing an in-depth review on, again, I'm kind of early on in the process with this one, is the spiced white pumpkin. Ooh, I love me some white pumpkin. And this particular one is delicious. This is one where I see myself getting more of this. I'm hoping to get lucky. I'm hoping to maybe find some of these fall HomeWorx candles at my local TJ Maxx. I keep looking, but also admittedly, I haven't been going out like a ton on like a super regular basis. I haven't really had the time to just go and, you know, check out Home Goods once a week to see if they have gotten some HomeWorx stuff in. So it's a little bit hit and miss for me that way, but they do seem to be popping up at more and more of the TJ Maxx, Marshalls, and Home Goods stores. Also, Nordstrom Rack has some of the HomeWorx candles, but I don't know. I know that I can get more of it at the HomeWorx.Shop. So worst case scenario is I have to pop another 1 or 2 of those in with an order when some new stuff drops again and I buy it to review it. So another candle that I was really enjoying this week is the Basket of Apples. The apple scents really are some of my favorites in terms of transitioning from like August into September and kind of around the mid-September point. By mid-September, I'm kind of over apple and I'm ready to be full pumpkin. But this one's a really fresh, juicy apple scent. Probably one of my faves in terms of apple fragrances from HomeWorx. Just a really pretty, sweet, juicy apple scent. Okay, this review is also coming up. A lot of you guys were asking me about the eggnog French toast and the tiramisu candles. And again, it took me a little while to get to them. Now I did not trim these mushroom tops. I wanted to show you guys these. These are insane on this can. Do you see those? Those are pretty hardy. Why the little thing is tracking me. I would like it to track the candle. No, not gonna happen. Okay. Yeah, these are crazy, but it burned really great the first go around. Definitely smells like it has some chocolate in it. It has quite a bit of like powderiness to it, almost like powdered cocoa in a way. I don't really get much in the way of, well, maybe a little bit of espresso, but I feel like the powdered cocoa note kind of overtakes the espresso. But it's delicious. I mean, I will say it's yummy. So you got that going for you with this one. The strength and the throw seems to be maybe a touch stronger than the eggnog French toast, at least so far. But I like to get a little further into my candles before reviewing them. And yeah, So, also, I shared another Kringle fall haul, and I told you guys that I was going to be burning some of these 3-wick soy blends from Kringle. Here's the thing. These are definitely stronger than the 2 wicks, that's for sure. But the burn quality of these is not as good as the 2-wick soy candles. So you can see the discoloration in the wax here. That just doesn't happen with the soy formula. And for those of you that are not aware, Kringle is currently transitioning all of their 3-wick candles to be the 100% soy formula. So the quality of the burn is going to be what the quality of burn of these is, but with added strength and throw, because you're getting, here, we'll be able to do a little comparison. You're getting more wicks, you're also getting a larger surface area, which is also going to be potential for a deeper wax pool, which then increases the strength and throw, right? Like that's the theory. So anyway, morning cartoons. This is a great scent. It smells nothing like cereal. These burn quite hot. In fact, they burned so hot that the label on this one started to melt just a little bit. So I blew it out. I think the key to these is not burning for multiple hours. Like these are ones that I would limit to about 2 to 3 hours. I basically feel like these I have to treat like Bath & Body Works candles, where you have to watch them kind of closely and make sure that nothing's going haywire, and then they're usually okay. But I don't want to have to do that, right? Like that's one of the reasons why I'm kind of annoyed with Bath & Body Works all the time. So I'm really thankful that Kringle is stepping up and is thinking to reformulate these, because I do think the performance of these isn't super great. It's workable if there's a scent that you really want in a 3-wick format, but I just think watch the amount of time that you're burning them, because they can start to like get very hot pretty quickly. Other candles, let's grab these, because these I reviewed. And this one, I left one burning overnight again. I know, it was on my kitchen island, so not that that makes it any safer, but at least it wasn't on like a wood table or something. I accidentally left the Birkenhair Sleepy Hollow burning last night, but I'm actually impressed that it didn't get more discolored than what it is right now. The wick definitely has like a huge mushroom top. This is a soy formula as well. I have had 0 problems with the soy formula when I've been burning it for like 3, 4, 5 hours, but anything longer than that, I don't think any candle should. And this one I finished now. So the Harvest Moon is all done. This one at the very end, the wick did displace and moved off to the side, if you can see that there, which kind of surprised me. But I think that this was after it had extinguished itself. So it was just kind of floating around in the bottom of the wax. So I'm going to pay very close attention to these other 2 as these go down, and see if these do that as well. Again, you should always watch your candles very closely. Safety is super important. But I love these scents. I did share a sort of final thoughts type video on Birkenhair. If you missed that, I'll link it in the description box down below as well. They did give me a discount code. It's not an affiliate discount code or anything like that. So if you decide to purchase anything from Birkenhair, it's just for you to save some money. I don't get anything from it. So yeah, I really love the fragrances that she developed. They are pumpkin. This is hands down probably one of my new favorite pumpkin scents ever. It's delicious. It has like a graham cracker crust base to it, and then just the most delicious, perfect pumpkin pie filling. Not too spicy, not too sweet, not an overload of like molasses or anything like that. Just done incredibly well, and like a must try. This one is delicious. The Autumn Forever, even with the sage in there, I really enjoy this. Herbal scents aren't normally my favorite, but that's done incredibly well. The Sleepy Hollow is delicious. I only have a little bit left now. I blew it out this morning as soon as I came downstairs, and I was like, oh God, I did it again. Yeah. And I did make the rounds last night, actually. I walked around the entire house, but this was, like I said, it was right next to my stove, and so I I don't know, I don't think I walked past the stove last night. I just walked past the usual suspects that I have lit around the house and made sure those were blown out. But yeah, anyway, and Harvest Moon, this is just absolutely delicious. I love this scent as well. This is black tea, apricot, cedarwood, and amber. Not much in the way of cedarwood, but definitely black tea and apricot. A little bit of amber floating around there as well. Just really super pleasant. So those were the candles that I burned this week. What did I have in my candle crocks? Okay, in my downstairs laundry room, I reviewed the Kringle Coffee Shop this week, and I decided to pop that into the candle crock that I have in my laundry room, and it's been really great because it's super strong. Oh my gosh, it's so strong in there. It wafts out into the kitchen, so I feel like in the morning when I've been walking into the kitchen for the last few days, like, it smells like the coffee's already going. But it's the wax melt. I will say, in the candle crock, Coffee Shop does smell slightly more acidic than it does when it's burning, which is interesting. Sometimes fragrances transform when they are burned versus when they're melted. So sometimes it can change a lot, sometimes just a little, sometimes not at all. This is a case where it definitely changed the fragrance just a little bit by melting it versus burning it, but still a great overall coffee scent for sure. Before I put that in there at the midweek point, I did finish up my Root Candle Paradise fragrance. This was my very last Root candle that I had in my collection. This is like a beachy coconut scent, and so with it no longer being summer in my mind, I just could not bring myself to just put this away until next summer. I was like, I want it out. I want it out of the system. I don't want to like hang on to half-burned candles. So I put it in the crock. It was delicious in the candle crock. I actually got more strength and throw out of this in the candle crock than I did when it was burning. So there we go. Will I go back to Root Candle on any type of regular basis? Maybe. Ever since the flower market, the wholesale market where I get my flowers for my floral work, since that vendor stopped carrying Root, like, I've become a little bit disinterested in it, because again, I have to order it online, and most things I have to order online in terms of home fragrance at this point. But it is just nice to have the convenience of just popping into like a retailer of some kind and picking stuff up, and also I was paying wholesale prices, so now having to pay like full price for the Root candles, you know, like that can be tricky. Anyway, I finished up the Nest Apple Blossom in my filming room upstairs, so that is ready in the empties. By the way, next Tuesday or Wednesday, I'm not sure which day, my home fragrance empties for the month of July. Well, let's not go back that far. August are going to be going live, so I'll take you through everything that I burned this past month, give you guys some final thoughts. Lots of good stuff that I finished up. I feel really proud of myself for the amount of summer fragrance that I went through. Still have a little bit more to go. Certainly I will be starting to burn spring and summer fragrances much earlier on next year to be able to get through more of that stash. I'm just looking forward to having a much more reasonable collection for all of my favorite companies. So I'm getting there. Really is making me happy. All right, guys, let's talk some Scentsy. Oh, wait, the lamp. I just grabbed this out from underneath my candle lamp. So this is now finished. This is Nest Sicilian Tangerine. The wick on this dudded out on me, and so I just popped it underneath my candle lamp. This wax is virtually scentless at this point. The candle lamp is a little bit different from a candle crock because you're pouring off layers of wax as you're melting layer by layer, and each layer will lose the fragrance oils obviously over time, and then you get down to a fresh wax layer. You have another round of fragrance oils. You just keep doing that. So this last melt that I was doing, if you will, this whole section down here was melted, and that lasted several days, probably the last like 5 or 6 days I've been working with this amount of wax. And I've had that lamp on for at least 3-4 hour sessions every single day. So I probably honestly got more fragrance life out of this Nest candle than I ever would have when it was burning. So there's that. Okay, let's talk some Scentsy. So it was kind of an interesting mix of trying to finish up the very last vestiges of summer, as in these two right here. So at the very beginning of this week, I was doing prickly pear and agave, as well as pink rhubarb sugar. This uses up the vast majority of my Scentsy summer wax collection. There's a few like fresh scents that I have left from the Bring Back My Bar that I'm probably just gonna put away and then bring out maybe after the holidays again. These are both great scents, and they will be missed, but neither of these were club worthy for me. So we'll see if they come back next year. But let's get into the fall. Okay, so my beloved, my Lisa Rowberry, who, by the way, I purchase all of my Scentsy from. She's my best friend, and I have been supporting her for years in her Scentsy business because she's just really, really good at it. I think there are people that do really well with these social selling companies, and I think there are people that are much more aggressive about it. I've just always appreciated Lisa's approach, and I also love the fact that like she's not pushy, and she's never once like made me feel like I need to buy something that she knows that I'm not gonna like. And she's like that with everybody. It's not just because I'm her best friend. Like if she gets to know you and she knows you're not gonna like a certain scent, she's gonna be honest with you about that. And I just appreciate that about her. She's just a fabulous person. Obviously I can't say enough good things about her. Anyway, we were talking earlier this week and she was like, you gotta try it. You have to put these two together. She said, mix cherry apple strudel with graham cracker crunch. Cherry apple strudel was actually also supposed to be included in my haul video, but I had already, so yesterday my first Scentsy fall haul went live, but I had already used this earlier in the week, so didn't make its way into the video, but this is available for the fall. Cherry apple strudel, graham cracker crunch. Mix a cube of each together and be prepared for yum. So good. Now I don't know, I can't remember if Lisa came up with this concoction or if one of like her customers did and passed it along to her, but anyway, kudos to whoever came up with this combo because it is now, I feel like it's gonna have to be a staple. This is delicious. I definitely need more apple cherry strudel, if you will. Yeah, delicious. And then also this in the latter part of the week, now currently going throughout my warmers, I have cran apple crumble mixed with sugar cookie. So because I bought so much of this, I went a little ham. I did 2 cubes of the cran apple crumble and 1 cube of sugar cookie in my warmers. It smells like absolute heaven in this house. So delicious. I do think that the cran apple crumble is pretty darn great on its own, but it's really delicious paired with the sugar cookie. It would probably actually be quite good with the graham cracker crunch. Let's test out that theory real quick. There's some smells left in these cubes, so oh yeah, okay, so here's one for me. I just came up with this one on the spot. You should mix cran apple crumble and graham cracker crunch. Also, while you're at it, make sure you put graham cracker crunch into your club. If you're not subscribed to a Scentsy club, I don't think it's a necessity. It's only a necessity if there are things that you really, really love from Scentsy and you're afraid they're going to discontinue them. I.e. for me, happy birthday. That only comes around every once in a while. And when it does, I'm so happy because it's one of my favorite fragrances from them, but it's not a regular part of their line. So since I have a club, I have access to happy birthday whenever I get my club because I have 2 bars. I think I have 2 bars in there. And then I have a nice backstash and it's fantastic. You should think about it. I try to keep my club at a pretty reasonable rate. Only because I do order quite a bit in between my every 3-month shipments of my club subscription. So, yeah. Anyway, is that everything? That's it. That is the whole horse shebang. That's the whole thing. All of it. I hope you guys have a fantastic weekend. I think I should be able to potentially have maybe one review ready to go for tomorrow, potentially two. We'll see. I'm kind of in some, I'm still in some early stages with some of these candles that I want to review. So we'll see how far I can get through over the course of the next 2 days. And then maybe on Sunday morning, I'll have time to film and get those videos up. If not, then they will be up early next week at some point. So have a great rest of your weekend. Give this video a thumbs up if you found it helpful. Subscribe if you're new. And I appreciate you taking the time to watch. See you in the next one. Take care.